What do you say? How do you say? I'm just glad to see another day. I go by the name of Terror the Barber, and this is Razor Sharp Podcast. Today, to blaze the scene, we got that brother. Listen, I got some notes right here. We got the barber, motivational speaker. We got Stylecraft and Gamma educator. We got brand ambassador for Squire. We have that brother that owns his own barbershop, Palace Elite Barber Spa. We have Prince the Fit Barber in the building
Let's
today.
go. Yes, sir.
How
Appreciate
was
you.
that, my brother? How was that?
Nah, that was miraculous, bro. Miraculous. Thank you. Thank you.
The one thing I didn't add was
Community
humanitarian
servant.
because I see a lot of things that you
You
got
said
going
what
on
you
right
said?
now
What you didn't add, you said?
is humanitarian.
Yeah, community servant. What's up?
Yes, man.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to shout you out first and foremost for all of the things that you got going on in your city. You doing some great things, and you doing it is gonna amp other people to want to do the same exact thing, and then that's how you create
That that's
something
that's
and
that's
help a
that's the
whole.
point. Yeah, that's the point. A lot of people be like, "Oh, why you?" First of all, I do hella more shit without the camera on than I do with the camera on. You feel me? Much more. Probably more than people gonna do in their whole life. I do in one day without the camera on. A lot of people they like to be like, "Yo," in the comments, you get the haters. They're like, "Do it without the camera on," right? The thing is, bro, it's 2025. Number one, we all on our phones. So what better way to spread awareness than to put it on camera so people can see it? And when I do these things, I talk to the people first. I'm like, do you mind if I put you on? I'm not just posting anybody, you know what I'm saying, in a situation because you don't know. So I talk to the people. I'm like, yo, I got these bags or whatever I'm giving. I got these turkeys or whatever I have. I let them know that I got this by posting on social media. So if you don't mind, it's all good if you do. But if I post this, maybe we can get some more donations. We can help you out a little bit more. So I do ask them. And not only do I do ask them first, but spreading awareness is the purpose. If I did it all off, I've been doing it all off camera. I'm not new to this. I just a couple posts went viral. I've been doing this. Like if you know me personally, I've been on it out of my own pocket. I ain't with no organization. I'm not with no charity groups. None of that shit. I do this shit all on my own all the time. You feel me? So a couple posts went viral and motherfuckers hating, talking about you don't use the camera. If it wasn't for the camera, I wouldn't have got 50 backpacks. Bro, these backpacks that shout out to Community Love and Support Program, they donated me 50 backpacks. In these backpacks, bro, these ain't no used items. Carhartt jackets, Timberland boots, triple fat goose jackets, name brand. No, shout out. If you donate something, you donate. We appreciate everything you donate, but a lot of people donate like the toothpaste you get in jail and a little toothbrush you get in jail. These motherfuckers donating Colgate, Oral-B, floss, Listerine, hand warmers, stuff like that. So if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have got all those donations in the first place. I started off with 2 turkeys that I bought out of my own pocket at the store. And I was like, yo, I work a lot. I do social media content. I'm in the shop. So I work too. Everything you see me doing, I work 10 hours a day. Every single day, I don't take a day off. I only started to take Sunday off to start making content, doing my stuff in the community. But Monday through Saturday, I'm in the shop for 10 hours. So with that said, I do a lot. So I had the 2 turkeys and I was like, yo, if anybody, and I don't have an oven at the crib, you know what I'm saying? I got one of them cribs in the attic, like way up top in the attic. So ain't no oven, just a stove. So I'm like, somebody could cook these 2 turkeys for me. I'll do the rest and I'll pass it out and all that, right? Again, Community Love and Support Program. Seen that, gave me 18 turkeys, bro.
Wow.
That's from social media. Not only that, now that I had the 18 turkeys, I couldn't cook 2, so I'm gonna do it 18. So you feel me? So I asked for some more help and support, bruh. I ended up with at least 10 volunteers, and these wasn't God know who to send my way, man. There wasn't no average volunteers. They ain't even ever done it before, so it's not like they had experience in volunteering. But these people came out and they gave it they all. They showed love. They cooked all that food with me. They served all that food. They stood there the whole day. They showed everybody that came in genuine love. One lady gave the shirt off for, you know how people be like, yo, I'll give you the shirt off my back. One lady literally took her shirt off, gave it to the person off the shirt off their back. So these are the kind of volunteers God sent my way. Then all of us, we ain't never really cooked we was a gang of misfits. We didn't really know what we was doing. God sent an elite chef, bro. Been cooking for 20 years, bro. Came with the chef apron, chef hat, chef pants. My rap bro was putting thermometers in the stuffing. I didn't even know you put a thermometer. I thought you put a turkey on it. Motherfucker put thermometer in the stuffing. So that's the kind of people that God sent to me. None of that would have, long story short, none of that shit would have been possible without social media.
That's amazing, man. You know, I do see it. I see all of the content that you put out. Not just hosting these different hair trade shows and creating the content for these different brands and for yourself, but the way you move around is something that I said. I've been watching. I said he's somebody that I need to be locked in with and really have great conversation. And from the jump, I introduced myself and then we just built this rapport. We like each other's stuff online and we just support each other, and that goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into the beginning. How long you been cutting hair?
I got my license in the joint, right? In 2014. I came home the end of basically 2017. And so basically 2017. I had it since 14, but in the joint, you don't really cut much hair like that. So basically 2017, since 2017.
Okay. And what got you into cutting hair?
I'm just sharing the live to a bunch of people
Right.
real quick.
Yeah, good.
Well, God, all right, so hold on. I'll give you more. So let me share this live a bunch of times real quick.
Yep. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in, man. I pray that boy Prince gonna let us know. If you guys are not familiar with his story, he comes from a humble beginnings, telling his life story on social media and not afraid to motivate others that may have been in the same kind of situation or even worse. It's just good that a person like him could be transparent. So I definitely want to get into everything. So
So for anybody
got you
listening,
into
that's
it?
the key word right there. It's transparency. That's what we don't be on social media. Nobody is transparent. I won't say nobody, but a lot of people is not transparent on social media. And it's all good to want to show your accomplishments. I do it all the time. But if you're not transparent and you're not letting people know like what you had to do to get these accomplishments, the work you had to put in, people just trying to chase that without knowing the work ethic or without practicing the work ethic. So transparency is key. You could show all your accomplishments. Make sure you show people how you got to that, and don't gatekeep, because the world is a big place. 9 billion people or some shit like that in the world. It ain't no sense in hiding information from people. But when you're not transparent and you just showing off and you just showing what you do and blah, 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 and you're not telling your whole story, it's like people see the end result and they doing whatever. They doing goofy shit to get that end result, because you ain't put them on. You just wanted them to see what you got. You wanted to see the Mercedes, but you didn't want them to see the 10 hours you put in the shop for 7 days a week for 2 years just to get the down payment on that, and the way you treated clients in order for them to come back so that you can have a consistent booked schedule so that you can afford to do that, the way you budgeted your money and put that aside but still paid your bills. So if you don't show them that whole transparent process, all they see is the Mercedes, and now they doing any old goofy shit to get this Mercedes. You feel me? So transparency is the key if you're really trying to help people. I mean, most people, I believe, just trying to show off anyway, so transparency means nothing to them. But if you really want to help somebody and you really want somebody, to bring real value when you post something, be transparent. And that's why I'm transparent with my backstory, because first of all, nobody could clown me for anything I've been through, because, motherfucker, I made it out of it. You feel me? And when I was going through it, you couldn't clown me for going through it, because I didn't put myself into it. I never did a crime because I was a goofy and I thought it was cool. You feel me? I was born in the streets. I was taken from DCF at birth. You feel me? So I was literally born in the streets. And when I was two years old, I had a grandfather. He was old as hell. He adopted me, but he was so old he couldn't really take care of me like that. So his wife took care of me till I was about 8. And then they was both, his wife died at 8, so she couldn't take care of me neither. He had a business to run and he was too old to take care of me. He's Jamaican. So what he did was he sent me to a boarding school in Jamaica. So I went to Kingston, Clarendon. I had a grandmother out there. That's how I had a residence, but she also was too old to take care of me. But you got to have a residence, obviously, to go to school. So I was using her residence, but going to boarding school in Jamaica. So I lived in a boarding school in Jamaica at 8 years old, all the way till 11, you feel me, by myself. And mind you, I say it all the time. I went to Shirley Max here in Massachusetts, where I'm from. It's the maximum state prison. Every day I woke up in Shirley, I thought I was in that boarding school. First thing, when I first wake up, it's flashbacks to it's shaped the same way. You got the school building, you got the chow hall building, you got the gym, everything. It looked exactly like that boy. So this wasn't no preppy boarding school, no top notch. I'm in a third world country. And honestly, and I used to say it to myself all the time, I prefer being in Shirley Max than in that boarding school, because at least Shirley Max, somebody could send you money for canteen. Somebody could visit you. in the boarding school, wasn't nobody visiting me. I wasn't from there. I was from America. I didn't have nobody. Motherfuckers would go home on the weekend. Every other weekend, kids could go home, or Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that. Whole it's a campus, you know, because it's a boarding school. Whole campus be empty. Everybody went home except for me. I'm on the campus dolo all weekend or all holidays or whatever, because I ain't got to go home to. Right? I told you my grandmother that lived out there was too old. So with that said, been dolo that whole time. And then, like I said, I would prefer to be Shirley Max than in that school, because at least you can go to canteen, you can get some food. Like in the boarding school, all you could eat was what they served in the chow hall. There was no canteen. For me, there was no visits, nobody bringing me up, no cookies and shit like that. I didn't have nobody. So I would prefer to be in the prison than where I was at 8 years old until I was 11. So then 11, I would never go to school neither. So kids would, it's Jamaica, you feel me? A 8-year-old kid in Jamaica is a 17-year-old kid here. You feel me? We already hip. We go outside. Yep. Niggas be 5, 6 years old, walking 3 blocks away from their crib with a whole group of kids. Like, niggas is grown men out there. You feel me? Yeah. So with that said, I never went to class neither. So from 8 to 11, I wasn't even attending class. You feel me? So the last grade class I ever went into class was when I was 7. Ain't been to not a drop of schooling since. So when I was 8, I was supposed to be in there, but again, it's like the jail. They just put you there, and you know, there's staff in each building, there's teachers in each building. You're supposed to yourself go to class and show up, and then the teachers is in there, but nobody's really responsible for you. Every house, they have a den mother that lives in there, but she just getting her little paycheck. It's a third world country. They ain't getting paid like that. She got a room in the back, and you don't never see her ever. So it's literally like being in jail. It's just like a CO. Instead of the den mother, it was a CO. You feel me? And you see the CO in jail more than you see the den mother. The den mother's sitting in the back. The CO has to do rounds every half an hour. At least you see him. You don't even see that den mother. You feel me? She's in the back chilling. So with that said, I never went to class, and I would leave after school. What happened was my school was from kindergarten all the way to college. It's called Knox College in Clarendon, right? So you can be there from kindergarten all the way till college. Your whole life you could be in the school. So we in here with older kids and shit like that. And the older kids, they leave. And like I said, there's nobody really to police the shit. So we're not supposed to leave the campus, but they do. And they leave and they go into the city and they just come back, you know, in time to go to sleep and wake up, go to class the next morning. But I used to do that and not come back. So I would be out in Jamaica by myself, 8, 9 years old, just run away from the school. And nobody will really know I'm gone. At nighttime, you got to come back because that's when the den mother come and check before you go to bed that everybody's in their bunk. But I will come back, be in my bunk. As soon as everybody sleep again, chirp out again. And I will be out in Jamaica by myself, 9, 10, 11 years old. I used to climb coconut trees to eat food and get my coconuts and drink and crack the coconut open. OGs, older people, they'll see a kid like that and they'll have you working for them. Like I was selling. So in Jamaica, we don't got, at least where I was from, is third world. They don't got a lot of stores. So people eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and they get these from vendors on the street. That's on the streets with the fruit and vegetables. Yeah. So the vendor is old Jamaican dudes. They can't climb no trees like that no more. So they'll pay a little nigga like me to go up in the tree, go grab them 5, 6 coconuts, go to the sugar cane fields, go grab some sugar cane for them, go grab all the stuff they need, and then they'll pay me. So that was my hustle. At like 9, 10, 11 years old, that's how I was living. You feel me? Hustling. That's why I'm hustling now. So yeah, so I was living like that, and then eventually they caught on to it. So I got kicked out the school at 11 and had to come back here. But then when I came back here, again, my grandfather wasn't really trying to raise me. He was an old Jamaican dude. He was already like he used to tell me I'm not his grandson and shit like that. He really ain't even fuck with me. Cause my parents, the dad, you know, I don't call them parents. They were never parents. So the dad is his dad. You know, supposedly my dad is his dad. Is his son.
Son, I got you.
So he never liked the fact that dude was in the streets using drugs and messing with a woman that uses drugs. So he like kind of really ain't even rock with him like that, his own son. Wow. He definitely wasn't rocking with me like that. Plus, he had me with a Puerto Rican woman, and, you know, he's an old school Jamaican dude, you know what I'm saying? And it's a Puerto Rican woman using drugs and all that stuff. The dude ain't even really rock with me at all, you feel me? So he was like, all right, I'm going to send you back to your parents. Once I got kicked out of school in Jamaica, and his wife was dead. Remember I told you she was raising me before I went there? She was dead. So he was like, I'm going to just send you back to your parents. I'm going to send you back to, he was living in Georgia. So I stayed with him like months or whatever. He sent me back, and they was in Springfield, Mass. So I came out here, but I guess they had a little crib, and it was doing good for a second. So I stayed with them for about 8 months, but then they slid again, and I ain't really ever seen them since then again. And while I was gone, I got a brother and a sister, and so it's me, my brother, my sister. I'm like 12, 13 now. My sister 9, and my little brother 3. None of us going to school. The parents ain't in the crib. Nobody lives here. They took off. They back in the streets. And the 9-year-old got to stay home to watch the 3-year-old while I run outside and hustle. I met some dudes in the neighborhood. They sold drugs. You feel me? So I was already selling. Ain't no sugar cane and coconuts out here. You feel me? So I had to figure out something. So my little homies that was lived on the street with me, they hustled. So I got with them and started hustling. So my 9-year-old sister watching my 3-year-old brother while the 12-year-old, 13-year-old out selling drugs. You feel me? So that was the story. And did that and then one day I came back home and they was gone. And the neighbors told me DCF came and got them. And I ain't really seen my little brother ever again. I see my little sister because she got, luckily, God bless, she got adopted by a good family, a church family in Springfield. So she got to have a life, but because of the trauma and all that, you know, she sometimes gets in a lot of trouble and all that. And Springfield's a hood, you know, so she still had a turmoil-filled life, but at least she got, you know, some parents and they in church. So I was happy for that. You know, they saved her. And then my little brother, unfortunately, you know, he going through all the shit he went through, got abused in his foster homes, all types of shit, got adopted. We never seen him again type shit. And then me, I was on my own. You feel me? So now I can't really go back to the crib because DCF is looking. So I started staying in the trap houses with the crackheads. So this is like, and that's how, like even now to this day, when you see me doing my community service and all that, a lot of the people that you see me helping, I used to be the cause of help contribute to their destruction. You feel me? I used to serve them when I was in the streets, staying there. And that's how I know that a lot of them, they just stuck. And it's that some of them are great people. I've been locked up with them. I've done 8 years in jail. I've done 7 years in jail. I've done 3 years and those are adult jails. I've done 3 years in juvie. So I've been in jail, seen them clean up their ways and be in jail. And they're actually great people. And then when they come home, you know, their trauma, their mental health, their issues will cause them to slip right back into the bullshit. You feel me? So I know that they're good people. I know them personally. People just see the drug addict sleeping on the sidewalk. Oh, he chose that life. He this, that. I know him personally. I know shit that's going on in his life that if you would have went through, not you personally, but the people that's judging them would have went through that, they would have killed themselves. They wouldn't even be here no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you
right.
judging a man that's sleeping out there and sleeping on the street. But if you went through that, you would have killed yourself. You feel me? So that's why I'm able to do and do for them like that. Plus, I'm one of them. The only difference for me is I didn't use the drugs. But I am them. You feel me? I'm the same as them. And I just never stopped hustling. I never gave up. I never stopped believing God got my back. And I just kept going and kept going and kept going. I tell people all the time, I'm not perfect. I'm not no great man. Don't sit here. I cuss. I'm from the streets. Because you see me doing community work and shit, don't take me as no perfectionist. If you see me out in the street having a drink and maybe acting a fool, nigga, I'm me. I just know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a pastor. You feel me? I'm not. I'm nigga from the streets, dog. You feel me? I just know a little more than most people know because I was raised in those streets for real. Like people think they from the streets. A lot of people ain't from the streets. Like you hung out outside sometimes, but you're not from. You wasn't raised in the streets. Like my little mans and shit. When I came back here and I had all my friends. Them niggas had moms, whether they had a dad or not, they at least had a mom. Motherfucker, I used to envy them because motherfuckers would be on the street with me. And I always had this mind that none of this shit was cool and I can't find a way to get out of it, right? Yeah. So when motherfuckers, we used to all be hanging and chilling, motherfuckers will have a mom. And niggas' moms, all my friends' moms used to love me because she'll cook and this motherfucker won't go home for dinner. I eat it. I'll come over, Miss Brown. He don't want it, I want it. You feel me? They would treat me like their sons. They let me sleep at their house, all that. A lot of my friends, like I would stretch my blessings. I wouldn't want to feel like I'm using nobody. So if I had 10 friends, 7 friends, I would sleep in one person's house one night a week for 7 days. You feel me? Instead of just because the moms want to adopt me and shit like that. But anyway, I used to be envious of them because they'll be on the block. Like I said, going back to dudes is not raised in the streets. They hung out outside. Because they'll be outside with me, and I'll know for a fact they mom in there cooking some miraculous. You know what I'm saying? She arroz con pollo, steak, if they black fried chicken, I know your mom is home right now, chefing miraculousness, and you got a PlayStation. Why the fuck is you standing out here with me, nigga? You feel me? Your mom got it all going on, and whether you're poor or not, your mom got dinner and you got a PlayStation in that motherfucker. And you go to school, you're enrolled. You can go to school tomorrow. I was never enrolled in school because to get enrolled in school, I would have had to stay in a foster home. I would have had to turn myself in, stay in a foster home, and let them enroll me in school and all that shit. I wasn't doing that because I was already used to, like I said, from 8 to 11. Those are pretty serious years.
Vital years,
you know
yeah.
Those 3 years felt like a decade. You know what I'm saying? At that age, so I was already had my mind up that I'm out here in this world alone. I didn't want to stay in my friends' houses where their mothers respected and loved me. You think I'm gonna stay in a foster home where these people don't give a shit about you? I went to one time and spent the night one time, and there was like 10 of us in here. The lady was like, if you get home after 5 o'clock, you can't eat dinner. I'm like, what you gonna do? Throw it away? Like if I get here at 6, you ain't gonna give it to me? Like, what kind of weird shit is that? Yeah, like we don't eat? Like you ain't eat? Like this don't sound like no family situation. This is weird. Like, and then as I like learned about the system, a lot of those, there are good foster parents. There are good people out there, but the ones they was throwing me in, them motherfuckers just wanted to check, and you could tell. You know what I'm saying? You had to be out of their house at 6 in the morning. Now, mind you, every time I go to one, I got to wait to get enrolled in school. You don't go get enrolled in school one day. So I went there. I'm not enrolled in school tomorrow. So I still got to leave. You got to leave the house at 6, and you can't come back in till 4. And if you're not there by 5, you can't eat. So it's like, if you send me outside at 6 in the morning and I'm 14, where I'm going if I ain't enrolled in school yet? You feel me? And Springfield, if anybody on here from Massachusetts, bro, you know, ain't nothing else for a 14-year-old to do outside but get in trouble.
So with all that being said, you had your trials and tribulations going back and forth to jail. When did you start cutting?
So that's 14 we at right now, right? In and out of juvie, did years in juvenile. 17, did a 2-year bid. Now I'm 21. Then I did a 6-year bid. And then, so during the 6-year bid at 21, I was like, all right, this was the longest one so far. I had to did a year. I did 2 years. I did 6 months here and there, 3 months, 2 weeks, a day. Now I got 6 years, right? So I'm like, let me sit down and figure this shit out because jails have schools. I can get education. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of other shit to figure out because, mind you, that whole story, you know, I said it real fast. But if you slow down and think about that, a lot of trauma comes with that. Your mind be all fucked up. And I'm still only 20. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, my mind was fucked up. And I knew that. So I knew I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of stress, anxiety, depression. So I knew that I couldn't live a productive life without getting rid of all that shit, or at least learning how to cope with all that shit, right? So what I did for those 6 years was join every single group I could join, which was I went to AA and I didn't use drugs. But somebody told me all you have to do is take the word alcohol and put whatever your issue is. So it could be depression anonymous, it could be anxiety anonymous, it could be stress anonymous, gamblers anonymous. The steps help no matter what the situation is. So I went to that. I went to, they call it Correctional Recovery Academy. That's for people that's on drugs. I told them I use drugs so I can get into that program. Again, never use drugs, but I knew there was information. I was just trying to get any information because I didn't have parents to ask. I didn't have cousins to call. I didn't have no brother, sister to give me this on the phone. Like people would call their families, get visits, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have nobody. So I just joined every single program. So in 6 years, what I did was just try to change who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? Try to be less angry, be less stressed, like look at shit different, stop trying to fight everybody for every little thing, blah, 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 blah. So now when I come home, I did all that. But then one thing I didn't do was get no trade or no skill. So now I'm 24, 23 or some shit, 24, about to be 25, and I don't got no like skills, no trade. So I told them when I was in there that I'm on drugs. I used to use drugs, so that way they'll put me in a sober home. Because every time I get out of jail, it's just the door's open and I'm out. Like, what I'm going to do? I got nowhere to stay. I start hustling. You feel me? And in a week, I'll be good. I'll be back in the car, back in the crib, all like, you know, some drug life go. So with that said, I was like, I can't just get let out of here and let back in the streets. I don't even have a trade or nothing. So what I did was told them I use drugs. And so they put me in a sober home. So they'll pay for the sober home for three months. So you get to live there free for 3 months. So I was like, that give me 90 days to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And then the place where they put the sober home is at, there's a barber school right around the corner. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to barber school, and then I'm going to get a job part-time, and I got 90 days. Let's go. Right? So, the reason why I chose barbering is because when I used to hustle and stuff, I used to chill in a barbershop in my neighborhood, and my connect owned the barbershop. And it was just like, I was always in a barbershop, and I used to watch the dudes, and they wasn't hustling. They was just cutting hair, but they was getting money. They had all the nice chains I had, same chains I had. They had everything I had. So I'm like, all right, these niggas getting money, and they're not even risking their life. They're not doing nothing illegal. I was like, that might be the move. And then I knew myself too, because I wasn't a dude that could wear a suit and tie and go to work. I'm not a dude that, at that point, maybe now, but I'm already established, but now I could take orders. But at that point, I knew I couldn't work in nobody's business and take their orders and come in at a certain time, leave at a certain time. I just wasn't set up mentally yet. And I knew that. You got to know yourself. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I knew that. So I was like, barbering will work. These motherfuckers come in whenever they want, leave whenever they want, wear their own clothes, and they get money. I could do that. So I was
win.
Yeah, so the sober home is right across the street, around the corner from Rob Roy Academy out here. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go there. And then the parole, I was on parole. So the parole officer, I'm like, yo, help me get a job. So he gets me a job in Shaw's supermarket. So now I got the supermarket, and I go to school at night. I work at a supermarket. When I wake up, I go to the supermarket where I was working full time, and then go to the school at nighttime. So I was like, I got 90 days, I can make this happen. But the thing is, the Shaw started to cut my hours and all that, so I wasn't getting paid that much. And this was in, I don't even remember, it might have been like 04 or 05 or some shit. It was a long time ago. The pay wasn't that much, you feel me? So I wasn't really getting no bread like that. And then I was going to school, and I was killing school, and I was loving it. I was like, this is definitely about to be for me. You feel me? Like I was cutting, I had clients. Like back it got to the point the teacher, and mind you, all of this only lasted 4 months. The teacher used to get tight at me because he used to be like, you got to spread out the clients. They got to let other people cut. But I wasn't, they was asking for me. They was sitting in the lobby waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? So what am I supposed to do about that? But that's how it was, though. That's how much I was loving it and how much I was getting good and all that. And then so the 90 days of them paying for my rent, now it's time for me to pay my rent. And it was like whatever it was a week. I forgot what it was, but it was weekly. It was renting a room in a sober house. So the whole month went by, and I couldn't make enough at Shaw's to pay that, and then they end up kicking me out of it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do now?
Back to the streets.
Unfortunately, back to hustling, you feel me? And then I lasted a few months, and then I ended up getting an 8-year bid. So now I got an 8-year bid. So now when I'm in there on the 8-year bid, I'm like, okay, I changed who I am. Even when I went back, I noticed, like, usually when I get back, I'm back home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got a seat for me in the chow hall. If I go to Shirley Max right now and I go to the chow hall in the morning, I got a seat. Niggas be like, yo, P, you over here. Boom, boom. A care package, boom, soap, deodorant, oodles and noodles. You know what I'm saying? The COs are already not going to put me with nobody from, like, a side of town that don't get along with me. Oh, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that every time I go back. But I noticed when I got in there this time, I was like, damn, I don't belong in here this time, because now I'm not mentally in this no more. I fixed my mentals. And I noticed what I did was I fixed my mental. I became a regular of a person that I could become, but I didn't set myself up for nothing financial. So I was like, all right, I'd already started, and then look lucky for me, the barbershop so they had a lot of trades in the jail I was in. In the jail prisons here, they got a lot of trades. You can do welding, horticulture. So I was like, you know what? I want to do the barbering, but I'm going to make sure that this time, because now I got 8. And I did 6, now I got 8. If I fuck up again, it's going to be a 15, 20. I don't want to do that. I already didn't want to do the 8 because I wasn't that kind of guy no more. You feel me? So I'm like, I got no choice, though. Once they lock the door, they give you a sentence and they slam the door behind you. That's it. You got to do the bid. You feel me? People be like, yo, how'd you do all that time? Nigga, when they close the door, what option do you have?
I got no choice.
There ain't no choice. You feel me? So I said, all right, this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to make sure, last bid, I made sure my mind was right. I became a decent person, a decent human. That's all great and dandy, but that's not what's going to keep me out of jail. What's going to keep me out of jail is having some financial stability. So with that said, I took every single course in that motherfucker. I took horticulture, welding, and mind you, each course like a year. You feel me? And these are all the courses I took. Horticulture, welding, I took culinary. You could take the written part of the CDL. I took Microsoft Word, Excel, all that, and barbering. I took all those courses, right? And then as I was going through them, what up, Lex, my brother? As I was going through them, I noticed what wasn't gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? So like welding, I couldn't do it. There's something called slag that pops up off the metal. When you heat up the metal, there's slag that'll pop down your shirt, get in your shoe, shit hot as hell. You gotta wear this big old, I'm claustrophobic. You gotta wear this big old suit. I'm like, yeah, this one ain't for me. Going to culinary because I love to cook. So I'm like, all right, culinary might work. I'm in there for a few months. I notice I love to cook for myself, but it ain't gonna work out cooking for hundreds of people. And I don't want to own a restaurant because whatever I'm picking, I'm going to the top with it. That's what I told myself. Whatever degree I get, whatever certificate I get, when I come home, sky's the limit with this. I'm a own shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to own a restaurant. You know how hard it is to own a restaurant, control the staff, make sure the waitresses aren't bitchy to the customers. Like restaurant business is crazy. So I was like, yep, not for me. Horticulture, I like being in the yards. Like once I own a big property, I'm gonna make a huge garden in there. I like to go, but in order to get paid off of that, you got to find people to buy your produce, your plants, so whatever you're planting, and then that's a crazy hustle within itself. And if you don't sell that stuff in time, plants die.
Goes back,
So it's just like crazy. I don't want to get into it. Now barbering, that was my shit. I was like, all right, I'm back home, man. I'm gonna just run with this one. And I ain't gonna lie, Mario Ashmore, my motherfucking brother. If it wasn't for Mario Ashmore, it's crazy that the instructor, that's Mario Ashmore, was from my city anyway. He's from here in Worcester. So, yeah, if it wasn't for him, I would never have graduated because whether you're mind right or not in prison, you're going to get into shit. You feel me? Especially doing a whole lot of time, especially if you've already been through hella shit. It's not like niggas forget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm getting in trouble all the fucking time. And when you get in trouble in a program, you can't go back to program for 6 months if you go to the hole. So you get out the hole, you got to wait 6 months without getting in any trouble. And then you enroll back in the program. But you ain't going to get into it until your name gets on the list. You're at the bottom of the list in 6 months. So Mario was making sure I went after 6 months was done, I was at the top of the list again. So as soon as my 6 months was done, I was back in the barbershop. So I would be in a barbershop, and then I would get into some shit, go to the hole. 6 months, I'd be back in the barbershop, first guy back in the barbershop. Be in there a couple months, and we got to get 1,000 hours. So when we graduated and shit, and we had the ceremony, he was like, yo, he was clowning. He was like, yo, my boy took 8 years to get 1,000 hours. Because, yo, I would be in there for 50 hours getting a fight. Wait 6 months. Be in there for 200 hours getting a fight. Wait 6 months. Be in there for 100 hours getting a fight. Wait 6 months. So long story short is that's how it happened. And then I finally, so right before me telling you I got my license, right? It was getting to the end of my bid. I'm about to go home now, right? So if you behave, you could go to a minimum security facility, right? And so I've been chilling. I was chilling for quite a while. So now my points went down. It was like, all right, they're going to send you to a minimum security facility, right? So it takes, so hold on. I went to a minimum security facility. Boom. And then I got in a fight over there. And then they brought me back. So I went to the minimum before I was done with barbering. So I was kind of like, that's why I said everything happened for a reason. What looks like a setback actually helped me win, right? So I got to the minimum before I was graduated barbering, and then they didn't have barbering in the minimum. So now I had like 800-900 hours, but I'm gonna have to get the rest when I go home. And honestly, I don't know how that would have worked out, if it would have worked out at all. So I was kind of stressing over there in that minimum. But then what looked like a setback ended up being a come up. I got in trouble over there. Went back to the medium, but now I get to finish barbering because I'm back in the medium. So,
did you get in trouble just so that you could go back?
No. I randomly got in trouble.
Okay.
I randomly got in trouble, and I thought it was like damn, I messed up the minimum. You know what I'm saying? But when I thought about it, hey, I'm back in the medium. I could get the barber license.
Yeah.
So got back in the barber shop. So now what happened was I was under investigation. So what had happened in the medium, they didn't know if it was me or not. So I'll just tell you about I had shorties bringing me stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then, but they couldn't prove it. Somebody told. You feel me? So I'm in the medium under investigation to if that really happened or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even really supposed to be in general population. I'm supposed to stay in the hole, because if you go to general population, you could get in trouble and then you fuck the medium up. So they keep you in the hole until your investigation's over. But the COs, they wanted me in trouble. Like, they hate me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in and out of this shit. I'm always beefing with COs. Like, the COs in there hate me. So immediately I went to general pop, because they hoping I get in trouble to fuck up the minimum. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in the medium, but I'm like, fuck it. Hey, at least I get to take the barbering and finish barbering. So I'm in barbering school, and then waiting to go back to a minimum, but I'm in barbering school. So I'm back, right? So now, so check this out. I get my 1,000 hours, which is what you need. Man, the things that just happen is just crazy, the way things happen in my life, right? So the board comes to the jail. They're supposed to bring the written test, and then you're supposed to do the practical on somebody, right? Get a model. These motherfuckers forgot the written test. So I did the practical, and they was like, we don't have the written, and I passed. And then they was like, we don't have the written, so we got to come back next month with the written test. Bro, I was supposed to have my license that day. It's supposed to be over. Mind you, I'll be walking on eggshells in the joint. I can get in trouble at any given time. So I was so grateful that I made it up to test day. I'm like, I'm actually going to do this. Take the practical. These motherfuckers ain't have the written. They didn't bring it. Now I got to walk on eggshells for another month, hoping I don't get in trouble or get sent back to that minimum or whatever the case may be.
Wow.
And,
you was on borrowed time then.
I'm on borrowed time. So as it happens,
got in trouble.
My life, I got in trouble before they came back with the written. So now I'm in the hole. It's over. And like I said, Mario Ashmore, my brother. So when you get kicked out of barber school, you got to sign paperwork to, release you from school. So Mario Ashmore comes down and he tells the COs, I got to have him sign this paperwork because he's kicked out of the barber program for getting in that fight, blah, 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 blah. He slips the paperwork under my door. I open it. It's the written test. Nigga snuck me the test. Bro snuck me the test in the hole. So I quickly fill it out, boom, 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 give it back to him. I passed. I got my barbershop license in the hole where you're not even supposed to, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for him, nobody else would have did that. So I wouldn't have got it at all. Finally, I graduated. And then I ended up actually going to the minimum again because they had to find me not guilty. And then it was, this is a whole nother story in itself. But long story short is they call them legal beagles. These are lifers that's in jail for life that they stay in the law library all day, every day. And they know the law in and out. And they be helping dudes beat cases, right? So next to me in the cell next to me was a legal beagle. And he's asking me like what I'm down here for. And I'm like, yeah, got in a fight in the bathroom, boom, boom, boom. But nobody seen it but me and the dude that fought. But dude was tore up. And then somebody said that me and him went in there and fought. So he's like, nah, they can't take the word of another inmate and make you lose your minimum move because the word of an inmate. You feel me? That doesn't even make sense. He's an inmate. He's in here with you. Like, his word's no good. That's just like somebody did a crime with you, can't really tell on you unless they sign paperwork and they go officially snitch. But your word don't mean nothing if you're a criminal as well. So I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, though. So he filled out some paperwork, got me haved into court and all that. And then he wrote down something for me to give the lawyer that's like your court appointed. He's like, just give him this. You don't got to say nothing. And I did. And then the judge, he dismissed it. He dismissed the ticket. So now I don't have that ticket for the fight no more. So I got to go to the minimum. But before I went to the minimum, we had the ceremony and shit for me getting my barber license and shit. So that was in 2014. And then I came home. I went to minimum for a couple years, and I came home in 16. And so and then every part of my life is. I feel like we could talk forever, bro. Every part of my life is a whole nother story.
I mean, that's deep, bro. To like go through, all of those different transitions, coming home, going back 6 years, small time, 6 months, a year, blah blah, 6 years and 8 years, and then always when you reaching where you trying to get to, there's always a setback.
Something else again.
Crazy. It's just crazy. So once you got out of jail in 2014, what were you doing then? That was 2014 or that was 2017?
It was 17.
17. So
16. It was like November or some shit. So like I said, every part is a whole nother movie, bro. So here goes another movie now. So now I get out. I couldn't play the I use drugs card no more. I did that last time. You know what I'm saying? So I had nowhere to go. But this time my mind is right. I'm a humble person. I don't went mental health. Got my mental health in check in there from the 6-year bid. Now this time I got my financial situation. I got my license. I can start working immediately. So I found a friend that live in a small city that's next. So my city is Worcester, and then surrounding it are really small cities. And everything is, Worcester's the big city. So it's the second biggest city in New England, which is 5 states. So all those little cities come here for shit. You know, there's nothing in there. You feel me? And the barbershops there, nobody gonna go to them. So I was like, my man owns a barbershop in a little ass city next to my city, because I didn't want to just come home. First of all, I had nowhere to stay. So I'm like, where I'm gonna go? And I had a friend that owns, I knew a lot of dudes that own barbershops that could have worked at, but where was I gonna sleep? So the dude that I knew he was a good, decent, humble human being, and he would understand this and he would work with me. So I was like, yo, bro, let me come work in your barbershop and let me sleep in the basement of your barbershop, because I don't got nowhere to go. I knew he would rock with me because he was cool like that. And he did. He let me sleep in the basement. It's not no finished basement with a shower and kitchen and all that. It's a nasty ass, dirty basement. He got me a cot. He put it down there. I wasn't even on a bed. I was on a cot, literally a cot in his basement. And never really cut like that. I cut when I was remember I told you I was going to the school outside of jail for a little bit, but that was the only experience I had in jail. There was really no cutting going on in there.
Really? So even though you were doing the barber school in jail, there was no cutting?
Barely, coach. So dudes ain't gonna go to the barbershop in prison to get a cut, because you need a cut for your visit. You don't get no visit like that. They're not gonna let that mess you up, and you ain't seen your girl in months, or you ain't seen your mom. Some people ain't seen their people in years. You feel me? So you going on a visit, you got to get as fresh as possible. You haven't seen that person in years, and you might not see them again in years. You feel me? And there's dudes that's nice as hell with just, they do it like this. Get the comb, get the razor, they put it like that, and then they tape it up. And they'll have like 5 combs. So that'll be a number 1. That'll be a number, a skin tight. That'll be a half. That'll be a 1. Way down here be a 2. And they'll have all their combs like that set up with the razor on them to cut hair. And that's how they'll cut it. And they'll get you fresh as fuck. You feel me? So with that said, dudes just do that back in the unit. Give them 2-3 soups and get blessed and get a fresh fade. The dudes in the barbershop are learning, so they're going to jack you up, and you're not trying to go on a visit looking jacked up. So the only people we would get is the same like school out here. Like, people ain't going to get the freshest fades in school. It's really like a lot of homeless people go to the schools out here. A lot of like mental health go to. So that's all we was really getting, was like dudes that didn't really care. They just shaving it all. I did a hell of number 1s all over. You know, dudes that just want the number 1 all over and they out. So we didn't really get no like detail work in there, like not too much fade, skin tight fades, no tapers, you know what I'm saying? No designs. Now nobody's going to the, like, you know, there's dudes in the unit for that, you know what I'm saying? And they nice as hell with that razor and the comb. Like, nicer than dudes in shops out here. So for 2-3 soups.
So when you got into the shop, not being so experienced with hair cutting, how long did it take you to get your skills up?
So believe it or not, I don't know how I did it. I got clients that are still with me today from then, and they tell me like, you wasn't that bad. I'll be like, yo, I used to suck, because we could see it. You know, we could see our growth. I know I sucked, but the clients was like, I don't know, man. You was all right to me. That's why I kept coming back. And so really, I was halfway decent, because remember I told you when I was going to the school, getting all those people in there, I was getting my skills up. So I was halfway decent. Like, I could get the fade. Maybe I had trouble getting the bottom line out, or maybe my lineups wasn't the crispiest, but I could give you a fade. And so that's what it was. And that took only like a few months, because, bro, I'm sleeping in a basement. It's not relaxed sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on a cot in a dirty basement with rats. So I'll get up at 6 in.morning and go upstairs and open his shop. And that shop open, nigga, you can hit me up till 1 in.morning, 2 in. You know, I live in here. Like,
you're there.
I'm there, bro. And I'm not pressed to go back downstairs. You feel me? So, nigga, I'm in here. And so I was 24/7 barbershop basically, and so it didn't take long. And then 360, my brother 360 Jeezy. I used to be in there when I was in the basement. I was watching 360 Jeezy videos over and over again, learning how to cut. And I even would put the phone and my AirPods while I'm cutting, watching his videos while I'm cutting the head. You know what I'm saying? Look,
dedication.
They don't even know what I'm doing. So that's what I did. It took me a couple months, and then there was apartments above the barbershop. So cheap, dusty apartments, but they was cheap, and it was an apartment studio. took me like 3 months. I got a studio upstairs. Then it took me like 3 more months. I got a car. Then it
So
took me
hold on.
like,
So let's get back to the learning process. You said that you was in the shop. You gonna be there as much as you can because you ain't trying to go back to the basement. You
exactly.
started watching 360 Jeezy online
Yeah.
to really hone in on your skills. Who were some other barbers from? Because me, I'm a YouTube barber. I
Yeah.
went to barber school, but first I learned off of YouTube and buying a whole bunch of mannequins. And the
Yeah.
people that taught me how to cut hair, of course, I watched 360 Jeezy, but even before him it's going to be Alex Campbell. It's going to be Al's Minion. It's going to be Ray, Taking His Randy. It's going to be Jada Barber. It's going to be Victor Barber. It's going to be all those OG Barber from like 2010, 2008, 9 who I was watching. So who are some barbers that you was
Yo,
watching
you know what's crazy?
at that time?
As you saying those names, God bless them. I'm sure they're miraculous barbers. I don't know who they are.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, of course.
I've never heard of none of these people. And then I don't know, is the only people that I could find, because I didn't even know how to go about trying to find education. I didn't even, well, mind you, I just did 8 years. I never even, there wasn't no, Facebook was just, I had MySpace when I went to gym. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That was the furthest I got on internet, is MySpace. And I only had that for a couple months. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really know how to work that yet because I just did 6 before that, remember? So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, I didn't know how to work the internet. So I didn't know how to work YouTube. So I watched I would type barber tutorials, and everybody that would pop up for me was lame, bro. Like they was don't take go above the peripheral and come under the occipital, and you know what I'm saying, and all this dressed in a suit and
It
shit. And
wasn't
shout
relatable
out
to
to
you.
them because they're amazing educators.
Yeah.
But I'm in the basement. I just came home from an 8-year bid. I'm from the streets. I need somebody I could really relate to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn. I got ADHD. I got anxiety. I think about 18 million things at once. I can't stay focused. If you keep talking about don't go above the parietal, and we're gonna want to go 1/2 inch all the way around. We're gonna want to create some density, and this you're gonna lose me. You feel me? So everybody that was watching, that's how they was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some ill. I tried to watch them a lot, and they because I'm saying it like they good bar. There was miraculous barbers. Like these people I was talking about. I ain't gonna say the name because I was kind of clowning them. And I don't want to make it look like I'm clowning, but they were miraculous barbers, bro. They was
Yeah.
putting in crazy work. It's just I couldn't relate. I couldn't. It wasn't holding my attention. But 360 G's, he was just a regular dude. He's like, go with the time. And the videos were entertaining. His little theme song come on. And he was just like a regular guy. And then he used what I used. He used the walls. I was using not the walls, Masters.
Masters.
I had a pair of Masters. And he was using the Masters. So also that, when we first start, motherfuckers could cut with anything. You know what I'm saying? If you can cut hair, you cut with any brand of clipper, right?
Yep.
But when we first start using, for some weird reason, we think that the one that we get nice with is the only one that will work. Like, if we switch, it's not going to work. So other motherfuckers that's using Wall or using all these other brands, I'm like, I can't pay attention to their tutorials because I use the Masters. You know what I'm saying? It's different. And that's how we think, but that's not how it is.
Yeah.
So 360 Jeezy had the Masters. So all that combined was just like, all right, I'm rocking with 360 Jeezy. So I only watched him, to long story short.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So after Jeezy, now you're honing on your skills. You at the barbershop, and you went from being in the basement to getting an apartment to getting a car.
Yeah.
I would assume that you built a clientele now because you're able to make this money to get these things, right?
Yeah. So I did that in a year. So it took
in 1 year, you was just grind time.
Yeah. So after a year, I had the place. Like I said, the city is small, so the clientele ain't necessarily mine. It's the barbershops.
Okay.
You feel me? Because it's a small city. It was only like 3 barbershops there. One was a lady, and then one was an old guy, and then the one I was in was, the hip barbershop. Is the one everybody went to. So it's really just they was the barbershops client. Not like first of all, there was nowhere to go to take them. There was no other barbershops. Like,
okay.
I was gonna take the old guy's barbershop. They wouldn't have came, And, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of the people that was coming to that barbershop would come to me. But it's not like they're not my clientele. I can't take them nowhere. And there's nowhere to take them in this town. But that wasn't the goal anyway. One reason was because I could sleep in the basement was going to that barbershop. But the other reason was it's such a small town and the people are not picky and they're come back regularly to the same. It's the only barbershop they can go to regardless. So I'm saying in my head, if I mess them up, like nobody's going to know. Like the whole city is not going to be calling me a trash barber. And that's another thing that now that I'm saying it, I used to think, even if I would have came here and messed up somebody's haircut in a barbershop here in my city, it's not like the whole streets and everybody gonna know. But that's what I thought. I thought if
Yeah.
I mess somebody up, everybody gonna know, and then I'm banned and I'm blackballed. Nobody gonna get a haircut from me. So I
Yeah.
was like, if I go to this small town, mess somebody up, nobody even gonna know. And he gonna come back. It's gonna give me a chance to do it again eventually when I start to get good because he ain't got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So that was another reason. So after the year, but also it's small town, it's small prices. I reached my ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a studio apartment. I had a Nissan Altima, old ass Altima, and
Shout out to the Ultima, man, because they just discontinued the Ultima. So shout out to the
shit,
Ultima.
word.
Yeah.
Shout out to Altima. It got me through my first year.
Yeah,
And
word.
then yeah, so it was no further I could go, and the haircuts were cheap. So I couldn't even get like a bigger apartment or nothing because I wasn't gonna make no more bread than I was already making. So I was like, but the goal was not to stay there long term anyway. It was just to get my skills up and then come to my city.
Okay.
So stayed out there for a year. Then what I did was I had to make a power move because I couldn't even get. All I could make money was to keep myself stable in what I was doing. My shop, my car note. Well, I bought the car, but the shop, I was just paying my bills. I couldn't stack no bread.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was I sold the car so I can get. I made a strategy, and I actually got a curriculum that I wrote now, and Stylecraft sponsors it, and it's called "Cutting Through Adversity from Struggle to Strategy," and it shows how I strategized all the way to get from the jail cell to the stages that I be on now. But
how can people get that?
Huh?
How can people get that?
So I do it at shows on at education. They're gonna be able to get it. I'm gonna make it a ebook eventually.
Okay, cool. That's what's
so this is one of the strategies that I did. I sold the car, so I knew I couldn't stack bread to get an apartment in Worcester and leave that place, and to drive back and forth. And I was a shitty Altima. It wasn't gonna take me back and forth every day. So what I did was I sold the Altima. That gave me first, last, and security to get an apartment, and I just made sure I got an apartment directly next door to a barbershop.
Nice.
So I found a barbershop that was popping that my man owned, and then I found an apartment that was on that street right next door, and I sold the Altima, got the first, last, and security. So now I'm back without a car, but I'm in a one bedroom instead of a studio. I'm in a nicer apartment,
moving up,
way busier shop. You know what I'm saying? So some people look at it like you downgraded. I really upgraded. I went from a studio apartment to a very slow shop, low price, and an Altima. I traded the Altima for a big, nice apartment next door to a barbershop that's booming. And when my mind is, all I got to do is hustle in here like I hustled here, and I'll get a car back in no time. Which I had an Infinity. So 3 months of hustling there, now I got an Infinity. Boom. So now I got a better car, better crib, better job. I did that for like another 2 years or a year, and then I did it again. I sold the Infinity. I got a Mercedes, and then I got a bigger apartment. And then at this point now, I'm established. I got a whip, crib, and a job. A good whip, and a good crib. Let's take it back. With the Infinity and that one bedroom and the shop that was busy, I'm doing decent. I'm back. I'm okay. I'm taking care of myself. But I needed more again. So and also I needed more out of my barbering career because the shop was still in the hood, and I still had hood barber tendencies. Like I'm coming to the shop when I want. I'm cussing in the shop. Majority black people came to the shop and Spanish people with the taper. I wasn't getting no Indians, no Chinese, no whites. So I couldn't expand my barbering, knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get better at different textures of hair. I couldn't get better at dealing with different cultures in the shop and how they like their barbershop experience to be. And I knew that, like I said, I'm taking this shit to as far as I can go. I knew I was going to own a shop one day. So I was like, in my shop, I want everybody to be able to come. And I want to be able to service everybody. So I got to learn these people first. I got to build a clientele of these kind of people first. So I couldn't do it there. So Boston is like an hour away. So what I did was sold the Infinity, got a Mercedes, got a much bigger and nicer apartment. And it was right there on. I never want to not live in my city. So instead of moving to Boston, because Boston is way more expensive anyway. So it wouldn't have made sense. I got an apartment that was right on the as soon as you get off the highway, my apartment's right there. So I got it right on the highway. So it take me 45 minutes to get to work. And I got it wasn't Boston, it was Natick, and it was in the Natick Mall. It was a really nice barbershop in the Natick Mall. Shout out to Title City, Josh Pereira and his wife Jen. They do amazing things over there. And also it was commission, and the way they run it is you right now can move to Massachusetts and work in their barbershop tomorrow, and you're gonna be booked tomorrow.
I was gonna ask, so how did you feel about going from renting a booth, I would assume, to go into a spot that's commission based.
Because it was nothing. Because their haircuts is $60 to $80. The haircut where I was at, and this was 17. Well, no. Well, now we're in 20 or 21. So where I was at was only $30, $35. Theirs was 60 to 80. You know what I'm saying? With beard and everything, it's $80, $85. So it's like, and when you go there, you're booked immediately. So I'm still gonna make more money. Even and the commission was half. It wasn't even no 60-40. It was half. But you're gonna be booked the day you get there. Like I said, you could come right now from where you at Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah.
You come here and start working in Title City tomorrow, and you're gonna have a full day booked tomorrow of people paying you $60 to $80. If they're paying you $60 to $80, and you get half, that's $30 to $40.
Yeah, that's still good.
That's the same price I was getting in the shop in the hood. But I wasn't booked 24/7 in the shop in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I was getting 5-6 people a day. Now I'm getting 10-15 people a day. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it was straight. And I didn't care about building clientele more than I cared about making money and educate myself in different hair textures, different cultures. You know what I'm saying? So, because the thing about me is I'm a hustler. I'm from here. Everybody already know me. Everybody like kind of seen my come up. Everybody's rocking with me. So I knew once I opened the shop, people gonna come to my shop no matter what. So I don't gotta worry about the clientele. Like I'll get to that in a second, but I came because I'm working out there for 2 years. So I lost all the clientele I had here to go there. And when I came back, I opened my shop by myself with no clientele and was doing better than when I left. You know what I'm saying? So long story short is I went out there. They got Indians. They got his native Massachusetts. They got every culture. They're, a little higher, upper class. I learned how to talk. I was getting bad reviews. Whereas in the hood barbershop, I was the man. I was going out there getting bad reviews every day. I was feeling so bad for Josh because he gave me a chance after chance with the bad reviews. And I was like, bro, it's not that I'm being lazy enough. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I really had to learn. Like, these people, I remember the little Indian kid sat in my chair. They said, give him a fade. I gave him the Indian hair. Is crazy for the lineups. You could make that. You could make an Indian kid look crispy. Their hair is full. There's no receding. It's dark black. It looked like Beijing without Beijing. Yeah. So, bro, I got this kid so crispy. I took a picture. All that. I was hyped. His mom gave me a bad review for the lineup. I guess they don't like the kid with the box lineup. Yeah, and I didn't know that. And she gave me a bad review for that. Another dude, he said, give me a 2 on the side and then take a little bit off the top. I didn't know that when you doing like Indian or white hair and they have like a bushy and it's like pushed back, you want to keep the 2 low and then cross cut and let that parietal stay thick. Yeah, you want it to stay thick there. I gave him the 2 like a crew cut, knocked all that shit off the side. So the whole side is a 2 and then took some inch off the top, like he said, bad review. So it's just like a lot of stuff like that I thought I was doing good when I was in the hood that I noticed. And that's what I went there for, to learn all that. I learned all that. I got nice with all that. And then I got my money up because I was saving all that bread that I was making from there. I was making good bread in there, saved it all up. So my point was to go out there, get educated in different cultures of hair texture and all that, and to make money so I can come back here. So every few months would go by, I would buy a chair, put it in my basement, buy another chair, put it in my basement, buy this for the shop, buy that for the shop. And I would keep every month buying stuff and put it in my basement until I had a whole barbershop in my basement. Strategy. Because I knew I wasn't just going to stack it up and then just buy everything. Plus, that's anxiety filled to sit here and to spend. I spent $50K on that shop. To stack up $50K and then just try to open a shop like that is mad anxiety. So I got a desk here, a station here, a hot towel machine there. Every month I would buy something. And then the chairs I got all at once, actually. Everything else I was buying one at a time. And then long story short, boom, I had everything. So now I'm ready to come back to my city. So I tell them I'm done over there. Thank you. Appreciate you for the love, for teaching me. Boom, boom, boom. We part ways. And I open my shop here, a 10-chair barbershop by my damn self.
10 chairs.
10 chairs and was booming from day one and been booming.
Had you always had 10 barbers in there?
So another whole long movie again. I'm going to try to keep it short. I did that for a year. And I would hire barbers. So you see, you say palace. My shop is a palace. You feel me? So the chairs, red and gold leather, You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to keep everything professional as hell in the shop, right? And then, mind you, from working in that other shop that I just told you about, I learned how to be hella professional. So, long story short, I was trying to make my shop Title City, the shop that I was in. I was trying to bring the Title City to the hood. And it was hard, man. You would have to, like, the barbers wasn't, remember how I was before? That's how they was, and I would be like trying to work with them and blah, 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 blah. And it just wasn't working out. Like everybody, I use Squire. Shout out to Squire. You can book your appointments on Squire and pay for them before you even come to the shop. So that's what a lot of my clients do. So they will book and pay and then get here, and then the barber's not even here. Or the barber already said two of his mans could jump in front of him. So now the dude got a 4 o'clock. He can't get cut till 5, 6 o'clock because he threw some human mans that just hit you on your phone, but he had an appointment on the app and he paid and all that. So it's just, and I got a service called a Royal Treatment where I use a hot steamer and I put essential oils in there. I put 2 hand massagers on a massage. I give you a facial, exfoliation, all types of shit. And it's like if somebody booked the Royal, and that's like $120 service. If somebody booked that service with one of the barbers, they would just throw the hot towel machine wouldn't have been on. They went to the bathroom, put some hot water on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, this shit ain't working out. Then I was already making social media content while I was in my shop. And I started doing so good that I started getting sponsorships. I'm sponsored by everybody. G&B Pro, Stylecraft, Squire, Bopper. So I'm making bread with all these people. I got QR codes. I got discount codes. I'm getting flown out. My day rate is healthy. So when you see me in the show, I got paid healthily to be there, and I'm getting shows like every week, damn near. So
how did you get to that part? So that's good that you did a good segue from you being in the barbershop, not able to have the right professionalism from the barbers that's coming in there, but you were still creating your own content and building a name for yourself. Yeah. How did you get those? I understand you created the content, but how did you get those eyes on you to them wanting to give you ambassadorship and like promo codes?
So that's a whole. So before I jump to that, I'll just say, because of all that unprofessionalism, because also my shop, there's a lot that went into it. But the shop that I had when I was a homeless little kid running around here, the reason why I rented that space is because when I was a homeless little kid out here, it used to be called Bicycle Alley. They used to sell bikes in there, right? So I would work for them. I would run around stealing bikes in the city, and then I would bring it to them. It was like a chop shop for bikes for me. You feel me? I bring it to them. They chop it up for me. They teach me about bikes. I do work for them for free as long as they chopped up my bike for me, blah, 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 blah. And I would hustle like that, sell kids bikes. I'd steal 10 bikes, turn all 10 bikes into a different bike, and then run back out there and sell the bikes again. And then at the end of the day, when they close, I would jimmy the back door so it would like stay open a little bit when nobody would know it's open. And I would come back later and go in there and sleep in the basement when I was a kid, running away and shit. So I used to sleep in the basement at a place as a runaway kid. So it was open for rent. So that's why I rented it out. So I ended up having my shop in there. My 10-chair shop was the place where I slept at as a homeless kid. You know
okay.
I mean?
Wow.
I made the news for that and everything. Yeah, I was in the newspaper, all that for that. So
that's the same shop that you're in right now.
That's why before I start talking about StyleCraft, because I'm not
so
there anymore.
Okay. So you got eyes on you already from you being a runaway kid, sleeping in that spot, to having affiliation with there, then taking that same spot and making something better for yourself out of it. Okay, I got
exactly.
you.
And then, but it was a rundown spot. It was like a dilapidated spot. The basement was flooded. It had black mold, all kind of shit. The landlord, I didn't know too much about business. I didn't know anything about business. I knew about barbering. I didn't know about the business of barbering. The landlord was killing me. Running electricity, a bulletin board on top of the roof, the basement, the sewer, all types of shit was in my name and I didn't even know. And my first bill in there was 5 racks. And mind you, I spent all my bread to move in here. Plus the rent in the building was $2,500. Plus nothing was included. So my first month, I had to put like $10,000 into the barbershop. I already started off behind by having to do that. And then for a while, I didn't know what the problem was. And every month, the electricity bill would be $3,000, $2,000, $5,000. And I had no choice but to pay it because it's in the barbershop name. And so I was basically drowning.
Yeah.
And couldn't get help from the barbers. So I'm like, you know what? As I started progressing, going to shows and getting paid, I'm making mad bread. I'm noticing I'm getting booked. I'm booked all day. I'm getting paid to go to these shows. I'm paying a $4,000 light bill on top of $2,500 rent on top of my bills at home. I'm making mad bread, but I'm not seeing none of it and just staying still. So I was like, when the lease is over, I'm gonna just end this and I'm gonna go to a suite. And so that's what I did. So I ended it. I put all 9 chairs in a U-Haul, and now I'm in a suite. So this is a suite right here.
Okay.
So that's what I did, because I wasn't keeping none of my bread, and all of the bread that I was getting, I was living like I was living in the small town where I could just pay my bills and that's it. And that's the only way I was getting. I wasn't gonna come up. But the only problem is the bill in the small town. My rent was $500 for the crib. You know, I'd have no car payment. It was a $75 a week for the chair. Now my bills are thousands and thousands of dollars. So if anything happened, like I don't get some shows this month or shit like that, I'm gonna be dead. So I was like, I'm gonna just.
So that's why you everywhere. Like when we see Prince at every single show.
Yeah,
we see you working with Stylecraft. We see you working with Squire. We see you hosting. There's a reason. It ain't you want to be there, but you there on business.
Yeah. So what happened was I bounced. I came to a suite, and now, bro, I tell people all the time, like I feel so comfortable because what a barber would give me, the most you could charge a barber for a chair here is $200, right? So that's $800 a month. I make more than that going to one show. My day rate is more than that. You know what I'm saying? So just going to a show and hosting a show for one Sunday, I made what a barber would give me all month. Teaching for Stylecraft, going to teach for them, I make more going to teach a 3-hour class than a barber could give me for a whole month. So like I found a way to fill in the gaps strategically, again, without having to go through all that. Like I don't have to have 3-4 motherfuckers in here being unprofessional, messing up my business. I can go teach 2 classes this month and run around for Squire and have people sign up, and I make 10 times more than hiring barbers. And I get to sit in my own little space, and all my clients get the kind of customer service and everything that I want. You order the royal treatment here, you're gonna be royally treated here. You feel me? So the client get the experience that I want, and I'm able to stack and save and all kind of shit with my bread now.
But how does a person that didn't finish, because you didn't finish high school, you didn't finish school at all,
I didn't finish elementary school.
Yeah, so how does a person that didn't complete all of the grades that's needed, elementary, junior high school, even going to college, how does somebody of your wits and your know-how now become who you are? Not just the hustling part, be able to say the street smarts, hustling, being able to learn that is going to put you sometimes in a better position to do other things. But how does a person that had a small education, you get your education from going back and forth to jail and learning whatever you learned in the streets, where do you get the know-how of what you have now to become the person that you are, to know these strategies, to because there's barbers right now that's doing the hair shows that's not getting paid anything. They're going on their own time to get there, flying there, paying for a hotel, and be thankful that these brands is letting them talk on their stage. How do you put yourself? How do you have an understanding of that to say, I'm going to have a contract, you guys are going to pay me?
Well, it's really, really simple, to be honest, and it's common sense. It's just some people might not have thought of it, but it's common sense. Like these companies are multi-million-dollar companies. It's like if LeBron is on the Lakers, right? The Lakers ain't shit without the players, without people like LeBron, Anthony Davis. If they not making moves, they not making the Lakers no money. Like the Lakers ain't shit. The Lakers ain't winning no championships without top tier players. You feel what I'm saying? So if you know you're a top tier player, you know you're a top tier barber, you don't put in the work, you know you have I know I have the education. Anybody could sit in my chair. You could be black, white, Spanish, Asian, Indian. I'm with whatever. You see that little reel? I'm about whatever, cuz. I'm about whatever, cuz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody could sit in this chair. I know I could speak well. I know I have the professionalism. I know I take care of myself. I take care of my health. I know I got shit going on. I know my barbershop's beautiful. I know I have value. This is 100% fact. I have value. So once you know that that's the deal, and you know that these companies are eating off of your value, why would you let them eat off your value for free? And then I get that a lot of people want to get their foot in the door, so they do stuff. I did it. So you have to set a goal for yourself. So this is what I did. When I first started doing social media content, I gave myself 1 year. Every show is in a year, right? Every month there's a show, and then the next year the show is again, right? So set out the shows that you want to go to. I put away to go to, start from January all the way till December. Every show I'm going to go to, I stack my bread, I put it away, flights. The whole first year I paid for my own shit out of my own pocket. Every month. So I paid for my own shit, and I already had the flights. I already had the book. I will pay for the whole. I gave myself 1 year. Give yourself 1 year. If it don't work out, it don't work out. But I'm not going to give myself nothing past that 1 year. If you know you got value, you know you got the skills, you know you have what it takes, you know that I know low key, and not to sound like nothing, but I know that people that these companies are paying more than me put in less work than me. I know that they pay people money that I could do a better job. You feel me? And I know this for a fact. So, and I don't bring much value. And I know, and no shade against nobody. I'm just saying, I know this. You feel what I'm saying? I know this. Yep. So I know you're giving him mad bread, and he's not going to bring the value that I'm bringing. I know this. So with that said, keep all that in mind. And then I give myself a year. So now for this whole year, I'm going to every show out of my own pocket, and I'm giving it all. If you see me my first year, which was not this last Las Vegas Barber Expo, and I don't think it was the one before that. It might have been. It's been about 2 years or some shit like that. So I started at the LV Barber Expo. Blur Gotti was my boy online. We had been liking each other's stuff. We first started like coming up together. We had no followers. We was both trying to come up. We both was going to be there. I was like, yo, you want to be my model? And I'll give you a haircut over there. And then Anti-Broke, they had, I hit them up. They said I could showcase. I was like, yo, Blur Gotti, be my model. And this was going to be the first. And then I hired a videographer to come with me. I stayed out there for a week. I got an Airbnb that's nice as hell. I got a slingshot, a Mercedes, 2 slingshots, and a Mercedes. I did all this out of my own pocket. And I'm like, I'm going to make it straight movie. I'm a showcase. I'm going to make content. I'm going to have the videographer running around with me. And that's what I did. I went out there and made it a hell of a movie. And then I would go to every single booth, GMB Pro, every single booth in that LV Barber Expo 2 years ago. I went, you know how the booths are next to each other? I go down the line. Me and my videographer. Yo, come get some hairy monkey razor blades, blah, 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 blah. Yo, come get some Stylecraft clippers, blah, 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 blah. Yo, come to GMB Pro, check out the bag, boom, boom, boom. I'll make content. I'll make a commercial. Everybody. If there was 300 vendors in there, I made 300 commercials that day. You feel me? I went to every single body's booth and made a commercial. Then, because I knew that each one of them would repost the commercial, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, and then also I made a recap of the whole thing because I knew the LV Barber Expo, Iced Out or somebody or Jay Majors would repost it because it's their show. You know what I mean? So now I know if you're a brand or if you're just a barber that's not affiliated with no brands, you're going to see me when you're scrolling 100 times tomorrow.
I definitely see you, bro.
GMB Pro is posting me. Harry Monkey posted me. Stylecraft posted me. Jerry Majors posted me because I put in all this work for all their brands. So obviously they're going to post it because they want publicity on their brand. So I did all of that, and then I had the videographer for me, so it was good footage. It was good filming. I also interviewed everybody. Taylor Cuts was there. Vic Blends was there. 3C. I interviewed all these people, and then some of them reposted it on their platform. So I knew that if you're just scrolling the next day after the LB Barber Expo, you about to see me 8,000,000 different places. And then what I do, another thing I teach in my strategy course is get cool with the vendors, because this is the thing about shows. They need vendors. They need vendors more than they need people to battle. You know what I'm saying? The people that battle give them $100 or something, $125, $150. The vendors are giving hundreds of dollars, and depending on what vendor it is going to bring more people to their show. So if Stylecraft, Andes, and Wall is at a show, that's going to bring more general admission. That's going to sell way more general admission tickets than if there's no clipper companies and it's just a couple guys that sell shirts or some shit like that. So get cool with the vendors. Make content with those vendors, and then that kills a hell of a bird with one stone. One is the vendor loves you. So now, remember, my whole entire strategy for all this, I gave myself a year, but at the end of the year, I was going to be a host of these shows. That was the first step, because hosting puts me on a stage to show that I can be motivational and control a crowd. And then the footage that I get from hosting is going to let me do what I'm doing in the streets now. My whole goal is become a motivational speaker. That's the entire goal of using social media, right? And write a book about my life. So all of these little steps I'm purposely doing to lead to that. If I get cool with vendors, when the vendor, I tell the vendor, like Heavy did it, was the first one to do it for me. Went to the Philly trade show. I see Clay Sculpts grooming. That's why I met him at. Shout out Clay Sculpts.
Brother Clay.
Yes, sir. So met Heavy there, bought his gun, made some content with it. Boom, 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 boom. Now, Heavy, I'm like, yo, the next show you go to, put in a word for me to host it. He did. It was the DMV Barber Expo. They said, all right, you could come host. So he got me my first hosting. But that was just one vendor. At this point, every vendor does it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, we need, because what happens is if they go and they rent a booth out in the show, if they get me to be the host, which the organizers are going to listen to the vendors because that's who they need. You feel me? So if all these vendors are telling the organizer, let Prince be the host, they're going to do it. And then what the vendors get out of that is I'm on the stage shouting you out every 10 seconds, whereas you need to pay. A lot of organizers make companies pay to get a spotlight on the stage. You're going to get a spotlight all day if I'm the host and you got me up here. You feel me? I'm going to go to the booth. I'm going to grab some hats. I'm going to throw them off. Yo, y'all go to the StarCraft booth. I'm going to grab a bag from G&B Pro. Yo, go to the G&B Pro booth and grab some hats from Squire. Yo, go to the Squire booth, and I'm going to talk that shit on the mic. So you're getting free publicity for the whole entire show just by putting in the word for me to be a host. And then the hosting, and then the hosting gets me. I got a videographer with me, and I'm not just talking barber shit. I'm talking my story on the stage. So, and I'm making clips of this. And if somebody's watching the motivational clips that I post and they see me on the stage and they see me control the stage, like if you go down and scroll, you don't see me cutting hair. Nobody would know if you're just a random person that just happened to be on your FYP page that I'm a barber. Like they wouldn't even know. They would think I'm a motivational speaker. They would think I'm like a community servant because all of the clips are me saying my story or hyping people up or making everybody say love, peace, and hair grease and motivating and inspiring people. But it's a barber show. But if you don't know that, and I'm just on your FYP page, you're not gonna know. So so I'm doing it all. Oh, we met in Chicago. Oh, say less, Clay. So I'm doing. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, that was the second time I seen you was in Philly. So everything I'm doing is to get me to the point where I could be a motivational speaker. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So long story short is, to answer the question, I tell you I go on and on. To answer the question that you said, like how could somebody get there and blah 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 blah. Set a goal. Like I set that 1 year. I put out of my pocket. I'm gonna go to every single show for a year, and I'm gonna do all that what I just said. I'm gonna go to every vendor. I'm gonna go get cool with everybody. When I talk to someone, it's not gonna be just to get to know you. I don't really honestly care about knowing anybody. I'm a loner. Like you see me with all this, and then like I'm by myself 24/7. I don't even like to hang around people. I feel bad for people that get to know me and they want me to hang out because I don't want to hang out. Like sometimes my clients will be like, "Yo, let's get a drink out this weekend." I make an excuse because I want to be. I'm by myself. I've been in this world my whole time by myself. I show all the love and I give what I can, but my personal time, I'm just by myself. I feel my best that way. So with that said, set a goal, and then I was saying that to say when I talk to people, as much love as you see, it's because I'm getting love back for them. I don't want to say it's all transactional because I got barber brothers that I love, Ramos, Lonnie and Tamel, Rick the Barber. So there's a lot of people. If I left you out, sorry, there's a lot more of you guys. But those are my barber brothers, you know what I'm saying? So when you see me talking to them, it's genuine love. But also we all, somebody told me, because I used to feel bad because I had a transactional mindset. And somebody told me this: you're not being transactional, you're leveraging your friendships. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing is leveraging friendships. Like we're friends, we met with a mutual benefit to each other. You know what I'm saying? We showing love to each other, but also we got goals in mind, our individual goals, and our friendship helps that grow. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, when you talk to somebody, don't just talk to somebody to get to know them. I met 360 Jeezy. Fuck that. 360 Jeezy ain't care about you when you go back to his shop. Make sure that when you speak to him, you make an impact on him so that if you ever need him, maybe one day you'll organize a show, he'll have no problem coming to your show because of the impact that you left on him. He really rocks with you. You were genuine. You made an impact. You know what I'm saying? He left the conversation with some knowledge or something. Like impact people when you talk to them, long story short. Don't just meet them like on some fan groupie shit and then go separate ways. And that's not networking. Networking ain't dap up, take a picture, and tell them how much you appreciate them and leave. That's not networking. That's just, you just introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make an impact on these people so that, you can leverage the friendship. So now me and 360 Jeezy is so good that when I got my podcast, I got a podcast too. And he came on my podcast because we got that kind of relationship. Everybody's been on that motherfucker. I got Marv, everybody from leveraging the friendships, from making impact, not just being and getting a picture and dabbing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, the first time me and 360 Jeezy took a picture, I never would ask somebody for no picture because I'm not giving the groupie vibe. I just want to benefit from each other. I just want to show love. And, you know, if you need me, you got me. If I need you, I hope I got you. And I want to leave it like that. And then, so we were talking, and Lonnie and Tamel's show, For the Culture Barber Battle. And me and him talking, he said he's going to be on the podcast. Okay, cool. And I was going to leave it at that. Dude was like, yo, so long story short, the first picture I ever got with him, well, actually, no, the first picture I ever got with him was a long time ago on CT Barber as well, and I was on fan groupie shit. But that picture, he was like, yo, I ain't going to get no picture. He asked me for the picture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know I impacted this brother because he's like, this dude's my actual genuine friend now. Like, he want to take, he's not fan groupie of me. You know, it's 360 Jeezy. So obviously he's not groupieing. He wanted the picture because I'm his barber brother. You know what I'm saying? So I obviously impacted this dude. And that's how you got to people. You know what I'm saying? You got to impact these people on the way. So again, I made the whole year where I'm going to do everything for free. I hustled. I worked with all the vendors, and I impact everybody I touched. So now the year, and that's what you have to do. If you're struggling and you're starting and know your worth, and don't let them give you less than your worth. Set a timeline where you're going to give your services for free, but then next time they gotta pay. And then that's what happened. So that whole year went by of everything for free, mad love shown, all this other shit, that I used to just feel good about myself. This, because I'm in the third year now. So the second year, I felt so great about myself because every show that I went to the next year after that year of going to all the shows out of my pocket for free, I was the host. Like, I didn't just get to be the host of one of them. Like, January started, it was For the Culture Barber Battle. I was the host. February came, I forgot what it was. Oh, DMV again, I was the host. March came, I forgot what it was, but I was the host. And then April came, I forgot what it was, I was the host. And then CT Barber, and I got to get on the stage. I didn't host, but I got to get on the stage and represent Stylecraft and host that one little section. June came, Jack Salite, I was the host. No. New Mexico, I was the host. July came, Jack Salite, I was the host. August came, me and Tank hosted LV. No, that was September. August was another one. And then September was Rhode Island and LV. October was another. Long story short, every single month that went by, the shows that I had went the prior year for free and put my all in, the next year came up, I was the host of that show. Every single show. Like, I didn't, like, not one show that I go to the year before was I not the host the next year coming up.
Now, do you now? I know you go to the shows for business, but do you actually love the shows?
Oh yeah, you can't do it if you don't love it. It's impossible. And it's not only that I love everything about it. There's a million aspects into something. Like, some people just love cutting hair, but you don't love networking, or you don't love traveling, or you don't love, like, you don't have a purpose. You just like to physically cut hair.
Yeah.
I got a purpose, which is becoming a motivational speaker. I got a purpose, which is helping people. I got a purpose, which is showing people that have been through all the shit that I've been through, or worse, that we can actually fucking still win, even by ourselves. I'm in a suite. I'm always by myself. I still ain't got no mama, nigga, and I'm doing it. You feel me? So it's like, we can do it without all of that, or without all the help, or we can do it all by yourself. If you ain't got nobody, you could still do it, because that's what a lot of people think. I ain't got no help. I ain't got no support. Nigga, me neither. You could find a way. You got God. God is the only support you need. So, with long story short is, I love all those aspects. I love my purpose. I love cutting hair, which is the bottom line. It's a craft for me. It's a therapy for me. I get in the zone and I just love it. It's artistic. I love to be creative. It's all that. I love my purpose while I'm running around to these shows trying to be a motivational speaker. I love people. I love fucking meeting people and having genuine. One thing I love about shows, I tell people in my hood, if I'm at a bar hanging around with, you know, the usual riffraff that's from around here, I keep it real. Like, I'm a keep it real artist. A lot of people don't like me because of that, but I would tell people in their face, be like, yo, I can't wait till another show so I can get the fuck away from you niggas.
I get it.
I ain't gonna lie, because all you niggas do is talk shit, negative, all this other shit. When I go to these shows, man, people are there showing love. People are there trying to, like, network in a positive. Like, I've never been nowhere but a barber show that everybody in the room is there for a positive read. Like, nobody, every room I go to besides barber shows, there's people in here for the wrong reasons, people in here for negativity. There's, like, where I'm from, it's a lot of that negative. Like, there's, you know, like, there's a lot of negativity. So the internet, negative place. Everywhere I'm at, besides a barber show, mad negativity. So I love to go and see my barbers. Like there's barbers that I see at these shows that I look forward more to them than people that I know in the streets that I go to hang. Like, I can't wait to go to Vegas and go see Lonnie and Tamel and salute the barber Craig and Edgar and Rick. And I can't wait to go to Rhode Island. I'm going to Rhode Island Wednesday. My man Ramos just opened another
The
barbershop.
barbershop, some of the Ramos. That's a fact.
Yeah, can't wait to go chill with Ramos. I can't wait to get out of here and go with my barber brothers and sisters. So
I get it on the same way. I get it.
Yeah, I love that. I love all the aspects of it, not just cutting.
With all of that, and how I understand that you say that there's not that kind of movement where you from. So there's no barber. So like where I'm at in Georgia, we created something called Phase and Fellowship, where we come together every single month to come together, break bread, have conversation, build the next generation of barbers and even the OG barbers. But we're bridging the gap between the younger generation and the older generation of barbering, and we have created something great down here. I've also been to different places like in New York where there's like-minded barbers that come together and used to be showcased, and then it was the barber battles, and then now it's a little bit fizzling out. So is there a community of barbers where you from?
So where I'm from, no, there's not no whole community. There's individual barbers that do shit. You know what I'm saying? There's like individual barbershops that help the community that got their own thing going. But as far as all of us getting together, there's not too much of that. There's not too much of a bunch of. My man owns a barbershop. Shout out Jorge Ricalde. You doing your thing, boy. Like his barbershop, they do what they do. MVP, shout out Jorge Sierra. In their barbershop, they do what they do. And there's other barbershops. I'm not saying or name anybody. If I left you out, you do your thing. Don't get mad at me, motherfucker. I know you do your thing. But there's a lot of people that their barbershop, they do their thing. But as far as all of us coming together, nah, I ain't seen it.
Have you tried it? Or have you tried to come together to do things?
I won't try it because I don't want to waste my time.
I get it.
I don't want to waste my time. And I love this shit so much. Like I said, I'm not no organization. I'm not in no group. It's just me by myself. Like, and I got a lot of shit going on. I still got a lot of trauma. I got a lot of shit going on. I still get depressed. I still get anxiety filled. I still got ADHD. Just because motherfuckers see me on a positive note, 3/4 of the time, I'm trying to convince myself.
Keep it together.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it together. I'm just trying to stay on this path. That's why I'm so positive all the time. Sometimes it ain't for y'all. Sometimes it's for me. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I don't want to get into something that don't work out and I feel depressed. I'm an empath too. So like if people have negative, I'm gonna feel a type of way when I shouldn't even have to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Have you taken up therapy?
I'd be depressed about it, and I don't want that to happen.
Have you taken up therapy to deal with so many of your layers?
Bro, so we talk about my journey, right? This whole time, bro, my journey's still going on. Like I'm still like trying to. I just now hit Jay Majors up last night for a dude that he knows that can fix credit because he told me about him one time. My credit's still bad. Like I'm still fixing shit. Like I haven't sat down or slowed down for half a second since they opened the prison door. So I was like I'm still like learning all this shit and figuring out this shit. And then Barbara Hartler, I'm here for you. Brenda, let's go. Yeah, so it's like I still be trying to figure out my own shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some therapy would be great, but I ain't sat my ass down for 2 seconds to figure all that out. Like I'm still trying to make sure I don't end up back sleeping outside. I'm still at that point. You feel me? Even though you see me outside looking in, I got all this shit going on for me, bro. It's not that I got it going on for me. Is that I'm making it going. Like I'm. If I sleep for 2 days straight without getting out of bed, I'm homeless again. You feel me? Like clients gonna go somewhere else. Social media engagement gonna go down. Like everything's done. If I take a week off and don't do shit, it's over. All my clients are gone. I'm not gonna make no money. My social media engagement is down. My shit ain't gonna go viral. Like it's over. It's over. I can't take a week off. You feel me? So I'm still there. And then not only still there financially, but I'm there mentally. Like if I get into a situation, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? There's been times where people literally that got smoke with me, and like if I go out to have a drink, they see me and they swing. That I've been swung on in my streets, like because I got problems. You know what I'm saying? like I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? So niggas don't forget shit and whatever. So the times I swung, and I literally just leave. Like I don't shoot the place up. I don't call nobody. I leave. And like that's my I'm somebody just said it in there, fight or flight. I'm on flight. I'm out of there. Call me pussy, call me what you want. I got to go because I can't do it because I take shit to the extreme and then I'm back in that whole cycle again and my life is ruined again. And it's like I'm right there. You feel me? I need just as much as help as everybody else, bro. I just don't stop. I believe in God and I'm just trying my hardest. But I'm not at no great position in my life. I'm just trying. The difference between me and somebody that's still fucking up all the time is I don't stop trying. I don't quit. I don't give up. I refuse. I told myself when I was in the joint, I was like, yo, I prefer be homeless, sleeping under a bridge than back in this prison cell again. So no matter how hard times get, no matter smoke in the streets or any beef in the streets, or no matter what happens in my life, I'm not going to resort to no negativity. I'm just going to keep on trying and keep on trying and keep on trying. You can punch me in the face right now. I'm going to leave and get the fuck out of there. And I'm not going to punch you because now we got smoke. Now I got to go get done. Now it's on all the time until one of us is. I don't want to die over stupid shit. I don't want to kill nobody over stupid shit. I don't want to ruin everything that I just did. Like for all that, I should have just came home and been a gangster the moment they opened the doors from the prison cell. If I'm going to do it now, you know what I'm saying? I done did.
Let me ask you, have you ever thought about relocating to another state?
And everything. And yeah, bro, where am I going?
You could go anywhere. I mean, you got the talent, so you know what I'm saying. You left the shop to go to a suite. You could go to a suite anywhere with your work ethic and with your talent and with your know-how. You can rock anywhere. So, have you ever thought about leaving? Because you know,
trust me, I would love it. I tell people, right? I was like, I need to go on one of these dating sites and meet a shorty outside of here and go shack up with her somewhere and start over somewhere.
No, because that ain't gonna work.
That ain't gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work.
That's not gonna work.
I say that as a joke. That's definitely not gonna work. I told you I'm a loner. I don't even be living with those. I ain't doing none of that. So it's a joke. But I always say to myself like that might be the only opportunity I could have to leave this motherfucker because I don't know how.
That ain't true. You can you a lone wolf. You can up and leave and relocate. You don't have like me. When I left New York, I was leaving my family members, but I got my wife and my kids, so I had something to support me. But I left New York, which I said I would never leave New York. It's like Southside do or die. And I left because I was frustrated to the point where my family needs better, I need better, and we uprooted. Thankfully, I have a job with Delta Airlines, so I had that cushion. But I left New York City, where I was born and raised, to move to Georgia and start over with no clientele, with just faith and with my family members giving me the motivation and people that helped me move down here.
Bro, that's a lot. Yeah, the family motivation is a lot, bro.
It's a fact.
It's not little, and I don't have that. I don't have nothing, bro. Not the fucking thing. So I don't know how I would do it, bro. To be honest with you, no bullshit.
But they say
I got somebody paying half the bills. None of that.
They say people, places, and things though. People like we spoke about recovery. And we spoke about, like you going to the meetings and just having those conversations. My mom was a recovery addict for decades. I've been to those meetings, hearing people's stories, and those are one of the reasons why I never got into drugs or alcoholism and none of them things, because I've heard the horror stories and had to sit in those rooms when I was 11, 12, 13 years old, listen to these drug addicts talk about what they had to go through, and these alcoholics talk about what they had to go through. I said I would never be on that path because of their experiences. I learned through them. Yeah. And people in the main three things that I took away from that was people, places, and things. So I always put myself in the right place around the right people doing the right things. And I've been grateful and thankful enough to be able to put myself in those right positions, so that I've never been incarcerated a day in my life, even though my older brother did 18 and a half years in jail. Most of my cousins that's male all been incarcerated. My first cousin got 56 years to life. My other first cousin got life plus 136 years. I've learned from the experience of other people that I cannot go down that same path. But again, I have to take myself out of We all came from the same area. I mean, these cousins of mine had mothers and fathers and went to good schools and had great upbringings, but they chose to do what they did, and I chose to do what I did, and we have two different outcomes. So I say, the balance of life is very important. Having somebody to speak to and get through all of these layers. I do believe that therapy will help you. You find an hour of your day. You may take 3 to 4 therapists to speak to that you find the right person that's going to fit you. But I do believe that us men, we've been told for so long that it's not okay to cry, that we don't show no emotions, that we gotta be hard and have this hard exterior. But we all go through a lot of things that a lot of people think that everything is good. Terror good, he got this, and Prince is good, he got that, but they don't understand what's going on internally that we need to. So that's just what I want to leave you with is just every day above ground is a blessing. Every day to accomplish all the goals that you set forth is a blessing, and we have it to be free and not be incarcerated and not be dead. That we have the opportunity to do other things, the better things, and better ourselves. So if you gotta leave, if you gotta pack your chair up and take all your products off the wall and pack your clippers up and take yourself out of that position and be in a new place where it's gonna, like me coming to Georgia, what I was lacking in New York, I found in Georgia. I found a community of barbers that's doing the same, that's like-minded like me, that want to uplift the barber industry and uplift other people and want to see the barber industry build as a whole. I didn't get that in New York. It was all about everybody just making money, everybody just doing their own thing. You got people that's hating, but I came here and I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I had a tug of war for so many years. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to stay there and just focus on what I was doing. I was making good money. And then I came down to Georgia and was making no money. And I had to start all over. Now I'm making good money again. And I'm on my level and up to make great money. So I just say that, me just being a fly on the wall, it's never too late to uproot and
I would love to. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I would love to, bro. And that's what, like I said, I just hit Jay the other day for the credit builder guy. Mm-hmm. That's also what I know that you're not supposed to wait until, what I'm saying, a certain time that you're supposed to make your moves, like when you have it in you to make your move. You can't keep saying I'm gonna wait. But I don't want to also move to another spot and have bad credit. I kind of like want to clean my whole life up. Yeah, and then try to bust a move. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's realistic with the credit though. Because if I try to get an apartment somewhere else or all that, it's gonna be hard.
It's a fact.
So I'm working on that right now.
That's good.
That's my 2000 this year coming up. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna figure out that with the credit dude and build a credit. But I really don't owe nothing. So once I pay off these few little things I owe, like my shit should be at a point where, maybe I could bust a move. Busting a move is definitely in the plans at some point though.
We gonna see Prince uprooting himself in 2027 with a credit score of 800. Talk about he gonna buy a house and he gonna do exactly what God has instilled in him to do. Because I mean, that's it.
I hate to talk crazy about where I'm at, man, but it's not it, man.
Listen. I was in Faith and Fellowship last week, right? I was in Faith and Fellowship last week because we do it every third Monday, and we was in there for our Friendsgiving, and we was having conversations.
What is that? That's online, or that's like a physical location?
It's a physical thing. So we go into different barbershops and we just coming together to meet up. Last week we was at my brother Chop Guard, who's one of the founders of this Faith and Fellowship, and we had our Friendsgiving. So it was a bunch of barber students, bunch of OG barbers, instructors, everybody's invited. So we had about 25 people in there. We was just we wanted to break bread and but we had speakers also. We had a person that had fixed credit and do funding. We had life insurance person that writes life insurance, and we had the main speakers, which is us, the people of Faith and Fellowship, to just give our gems. And while we was doing it, my brother E was talking about some things, and we could cry there, we could show vulnerability there. It's a safe space. And I just came out and said, yo, I'm not in the position that I'm supposed to be in. And people were just like, yo, I don't understand where you coming from with that. I said, yo, listen, just because I'm here right now and I'm fellowshipping with you guys don't mean that I am where I set myself to be as far as all my goals is. And I'm thankful to have a breath to be up to do the things that I want to do, but I have other things that I got in store, and I need to say that. Sometimes you gotta say it out loud. that I'm in a fucked up spot. I'm in a bad space mentally, physically, just financially. People are just not there, but sometimes we don't look ourselves in the mirror and really be honest with ourselves. And people not going to do that because they don't know who the real person is. You seeing this facade, but you don't know who I really am unless I'm being vulnerable like how me and you are, and we talk about it, right? So I just had
That's what
that
I
moment
appreciate.
of clarity to just say that and really speak about it. And then after that, I had multiple conversations with a whole bunch of people that's pouring a whole bunch of love into me, and had a conversation with me and my wife the next morning, and then me and my brother Clay that we always talk. And it's just good, one, to be able to have people in your life that you could speak to, you know, and not, and to be able to be vulnerable and to really get stuff off your chest and not walk around with all this animosity and all this anger. Because us barbers, we taking so many other people shit by just having to sit there and listen to what they got going on. Be the therapist, but the therapist need a therapist. You feel what
Yeah,
I'm
it's almost,
saying?
that's what I'm saying. It's almost a curse sometimes because, especially me, like I got a review today. That dude, like I looked at my reviews. Dude was like, man, he really made me feel better. Blah 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 blah. All this other shit, and I'm like, damn, man. I like a lot of people look at me like the therapist, like the motivator, the inspiration. But like you said, we don't get it from no. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, when I'm doing this shit, I'm kind of doing it for my own self too. Like the more accomplishments I get, then I'm able to look at myself like, okay, I did this for this person. More people I help. Okay, I helped this person. It making me feel good about myself
Mm-hmm.
that I'm coming from a place where I'm not even really in a position to help nobody, but I am. And somebody learned from me today, or somebody ate because of me today, or whatever. And that's my therapy in itself. Like at the end of the day, that's what like helped me fall asleep at night. That I could feel good about myself. I had a conversation with my first client today, and I was like, "Yo, you know what I think about? I randomly just had this just popped in my head. So my whole life, it's gonna sound dark, but my whole life, I always assume I'm going to hell because every
Mm-hmm.
single thing I do is negative. I got a gun on me all the time. I'm shooting at people all the time. I'm fighting people all the time. I'm lying to people all the time. I'm manipulating people all the time. I have bad intentions all the time. Like I'm talking about 24/7. This was my life for a long time. Like every 24 hours of the day, I got something negative going on in my head. I always have a crime on me. I got drugs in my pocket. I got a gun on my waist. I'm always have a crime. So I assume, nigga, I'm going to hell when I die, right? That was just, I was just locked into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then randomly, for some weird reason, probably because all the stuff I'm doing, it made me think for a second, and it just popped in my head for a second. I was like, you know what, fam? If I died right now, I might go to heaven, bro. I might, because now that I'm thinking about it, I ain't done a negative thing in a few years now. I ain't had no negative thoughts. I ain't treated nobody bad. I ain't been lying to nobody. I ain't been manipulating nobody. I ain't been doing no crime. I ain't been fighting nobody. I ain't, bro. I've been giving back. Like honestly, I might have a chance if I die right now. You feel me? And so it's crazy. So long story short is like, man, like we mentally, people never know what we got going on.
Yes. Man, I definitely appreciate you, my brother. We could talk for hours, and
Dead
I
ass. Yeah.
I didn't even really. We got through the meat and potatoes. Pause.
Sure, we can have
So
a part two, man.
yeah,
Anytime.
yeah. Because I mean I still got questions, but I got my first appointment at 5 o'clock.
Me too.
Cause I start at 5, from 5 to 9:30,
Okay.
and then don't forget you guys for tonight. The United Barbers Club will be live on YouTube with Craig Skills doing a great interview. So I'll be in the shop cutting hair and watching that also. But I definitely want to thank you, my brother, for coming on
Yeah.
board to inspire, because everything that you spoke about today really inspired so many people. It inspired me even more, because your hustle, your grit, your tenacity. I could be doing way more. Just by, if you could do way so much more, I could do more. So I'm taking a page out of your book, and I'm taking all of those lessons from you giving yourself a year's time to accomplish these things and setting those goals, and not taking no for an answer. I salute you for that, because a lot of people talk shit, but they
Yeah.
don't walk it.
Yeah.
And you are one of those people that I see, you don't care about making a fool of yourself in the airport, shooting videos to
Yo,
create content. You
FX,
that dude, bro.
Eric, FX TV,
Yeah,
Eric,
of
Groove
course.
Spy, bro, he said the same exact shit the other day. He's like, you know what about you? He was like, I think it's because you did so much time locked up that you don't have no problem. Like, nothing discourages you. You be making a fool of yourself in the airport. You doing all this shit, but you don't. It don't discourage you because you've been through so much worse.
Yes, man. So listen, man. This is Razor Sharp Podcast. We do this live thing every single Tuesday. I go live with somebody very inspirational, motivational, inspiring in the barber beauty and lifestyle industry. And I'm just thankful to have my brother on the live today, Prince the Fit Barber. And we didn't even get into the fitness. We just got into the meats and potatoes. So we definitely gonna get a part 2. And I want you guys to leave questions. DM me and leave questions that you want me to ask Prince on the next episode. This episode will be dropping very soon. If it don't drop this Friday, because it's so inspiring that I got to drop it real soon. So if it don't drop this Friday, it'll be out next Friday. But I'm going to clip up these pieces to just feed the masses, because everybody needs to hear this conversation. So I thank you for coming on board to tell your story on this live Razor Sharp podcast experience.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Love,
peace. Yes, sir. Love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all know the vibe, man. So this your boy, Terry the Barber. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we'll see you guys next time. You dig? Peace. This week's episode of Razor Sharp Podcast is brought to you by No Clog. First of its kind technology. Zero clog. 100% performance. Welcome to the No Clog. The future of airbrushing starts here. Check them out at noclogairbrush.com. Also on IG